Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Because now I know when something happens in our lives that is unexpected, you have to go into it in order to ever have any hope of coming through it. So when you go, guess what? When you come out the other side, you grow.
Brought out more in me than I thought that I didn't even know that I had.
That has given all of us a great hope for what we can do with our own messages, our abilities to deliver, but most importantly, to deliver it in an authentic and very, very intriguing way.
Have you ever been in something or felt something where the only way you felt you could deal with it was to leave, get away? I thought that was the meaning of control. It took me 4.5 years to stop looking around the room of my life, of my journey, of my purpose, digging in cushions for a remote that never existed.
Looking, re-looking, going back and upgrading, bringing in and pulling out. Things that do not serve you must go.
Those things out in this world that are designed to bring us down, to keep us down, put their foot on our neck and whisper to us that we're never good enough, they don't whisper. They yell at us from all directions, top to bottom, bottom to top, side to side, side to side, corner to corner, and corner to corner, 365 days. When somebody asks you about yourself, don't you dare whisper. When they ask you to raise your hand, don't you dare half raise it. When they ask you something good about you, you scream it with all you have. Come on now, get up, get up. Tell me who you are. Show me who you are.
Greatest truth of all, that not everyone has to remain lost.
Told you I got rhythm. Might not have a voice, but I got some rhythm. Good morning, and welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moment. That's my jam. I'm your host, Norm Michaels Harris, and we're going to get there regardless. I don't care if I got to do sign language. I'm so excited. They're here. Today is the day. Look. All the way from Vegas. Triple Nickel is in the house. Now, it was going to have to be a family show, but not now because they dropped the baby off at daycare. We going to miss little Chris. That's the last joke for the day about Chris, I promise. I miss him already. I really do. Anyway, we're going to have a good time today. Now's a great time to share out the broadcast. You're going to hear a story that should inspire each and every one of you. It does me every day. I've known it since day one that these guys, look at my new shirt. Air Force aim high. Quit playing. Listen, I'm going to run through the monologue today because I don't want to waste any time. And I have a lot to share with you guys real quick before we get the Triple Nickel crew in. But first of all, do I need to? Never know. There, covered. So, anyway, yesterday, guess what made my day? 3 things. First of all, the most important, in the mail, I thought the art of letter and card writing was long gone, lost. Not so. Dr. Angela Neely sent me this. She was a guest on the show. And look, it has a light when you turn it on. I don't know if y'all can tell. And I turn it off. I don't want to wear it out. Okay. And she wrote all on the back, just a thank you card for being on the show. And then Sebastian Renia, my little I'm taking 2 13-year-old boys, young men. They don't like being called boys. Young speakers that coach with me. They're coming with the team when we go to Romania. The first 2 weeks of May, we will be traveling from Bucharest all the way up to a little town at the top, the most impoverished area known as Siret, which borders the Ukraine. Lord Jesus, be with me. And we're going to celebrate kids. We're taking 200 comfort cases. Thank you, Rob Shear of Comfort Cases. I'll also be co-starring in his Hallmark movie coming out soon. And that was a shameless plug. Anyway, I'm taking these 2 boys. They were both bullied and both turned the bullying experience into all kinds of things. You're going to hear about that as we get closer. But anyway, little Sebastian wrote me a card and sent it, put him out. Just thank you guys. Thank you so much. No, let me see. We only got, today's the 27th. Oh, Lord. It goes so fast. The month is almost over. So some other blessed person will be on the cover of Courageous Men in just a few days. But until then, get over and get this copy. Got some great content inside. What else? Oh, mark your calendar. Save the date. It's here. November 9th. Breathe, Lauren. The book, Align. Save the date. November 9th. It is here. It is here. And this happened yesterday. And I'm going to say something about this. Thank you, Easy Way Awards, for nominating. I don't know how it happened, but it happened. Mentor of the Year. I'm in that category, I think, with 2 other people. I might have to send her to take care of them too. Go get them, girl. You 2 that are running against me, if you see her knocking on your door, don't answer. I'm just saying, if I don't win, I'm sending Gwen. I'm playing. And last but not least, so seriously, then we're going to get Triple Nickel in here. You guys sign the papers. Everything is done. We launch my very own television network, Trajectory, launches on November 1st. So I got 24 hours of programming to fill. So if you know anyone that is a consummate storyteller, a creative content writer, provider, send them at me. I want to know what their show concepts are, and we can perhaps get them over here. Take a look, and then we're going to get right into Triple Nickel. Trajectory TV launching November 1st. God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. Yes, Trajectory launches November 1st, and I'm starting a second show. Yep, on Trajectory, my own QVC. Just got it on paper yesterday. Gonna have my own store called smartshop.com, a store with over 1 million items for you all to get at discounted prices. More to come on that one. So excited. Now, today, you guys, I just want you to really, really take this story and just use it like a blanket, wrap it around you, because it is available. Everything you're going to hear today, as far as going from zero to hero, from the back to the front, from down to up, and all the rest, it applies to you. And that's why they're here today. Triple Nickel, just a few years ago, just an idea. Wait till you hear what these guys have done, starting, I believe, well, we'll get the date. It's November through December 31st. I know that much. In Kohl's. Take a look. Here they come. I got chills when the Kohl's thing came up on the screen. I literally got chills. If that ain't God, I don't know what it is. Welcome, Ruben, and he who will remain nameless to your left. Who is that? I don't see the high chair, so it can't be Chris. Introduce yourselves. Say, I'm glad you're here.
Good morning,
Say hello.
Rod Graham.
Who?
Rod Graham, Lauren.
I know who it is, but they don't, because your name. Oh, Ruben hogged the screen. Ruben, you could have put his name in.
I write his name on the screen? It just had room for one person.
Look how long my name is.
Tell
you could
him,
have put
Lauren.
Ruben and Rod.
Hey, Lauren, the same stuff I've been dealing with since day one.
But listen, there are 4 of y'all. I'm so excited and just seriously celebrating. There, I gotta hide this because
I like it.
I know. Yeah. Another day I'll tell you a story about that. Tell everybody who you guys are, why you're in Las Vegas, and then we're gonna get into it. How you've taken this from just a concept, an idea, to over 600 stores for a limited time with Kohl's. I'm gonna dip out, let you guys have a personal moment, and then I'll come back. All you.
Okay. Hey, good morning, everybody. Once again, I'm Ruben Ayala. This is Rod Graham. We are, I would say, half of Triple Nickel. We have 2 other partners, Chris McPhee and Cortez Riggs. And currently we're in Las Vegas. We are at the Military Influencer Conference 2022. And we are here to celebrate veteran-owned businesses, military spouse-owned businesses all across the country. We have a really cool booth set up out here and just amplifying our story. So just to cover down on what Lauren mentioned is, so we are an apparel company. For those who don't know, we started the company back in 2020 and progressing to today. We've been fortunate enough to sell our wares on our online retail store. And now we have a distribution agreement with limited agreement with Kohl's. Started last week, going all the way through December 31st, 600 stores.
That is so awesome. So quit playing, y'all. Get over to Kohl's. You know where it is, and support. And they'll also be able to get online, shop online, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Well, we're gonna show. Well, we have another spot we're gonna show a little later, but we're gonna run their promos all the way through January 1st. Just because you never know. They say the 31st, but if we stand in line, what you mean? You ain't got Triple Nickel today. They might get it extended. I'm just saying, y'all. So what does it feel like, you guys? And take us back to
Who made the first call? You know, what were y'all doing? Sitting around, just kicking it, and somebody said, "Hey, how did it start?"
The company?
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's see. I think so.
I think it was the day I was out of something to do, really bored, because I'm in Wilmington, North Carolina as a golf pro. And I called Ruben and I had a lot of time on my hand. And this is COVID, right?
This is
Right.
COVID.
And I was like, Ruben, man, I was like, I'm so bored. Things got to be different. It's got to be something we can do. And hence, he called me back in a couple of weeks and he put together, formulated this crazy team of myself, Chris, and Kurt. We started talking via internet. He flew into North Carolina, and Ruben flew to North Carolina from Texas. I came up with a plan. We met a couple of vendors, and the rest is history. Because we started all the actual apparel in North Carolina initially.
Right. There's such a one day when they do the documentary, y'all will get to see exactly all the things they went through. But tell us the background of the name and where it came from and why you chose it.
Yeah. So the common ground that we all share as founders, we all started our career in the 82nd Airborne Division. And for those who don't know, it's a very famous unit. Goes back to World War II. It is the only division in the United States military that has an airborne capability. So jump out of airplanes. Long story short.
Oh.
So folks that go there, very proudful of being part of it. So that's our common ground, because that's where we all started out our careers. Back in 1943, when the military was segregated, if you were a person of color, you were a black man, you could not jump out of airplanes. It was job only designated for white soldiers. So,
I bet they pushed a few though.
Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. So
I put the disclaimer up. I ain't scared. I'm just playing.
But in 1943, they started a test platoon. They said, I think I don't know if y'all can fly or not. If we put a parachute on you, you may not have some buoyancy to you. I don't know, but let's try it out. It was a successful project, obviously, and the 555th Parachute Infantry Battalion was stood up in 1943. They were nicknamed the Triple Nickels because of the legacy leading back to the Buffalo Soldiers. So we chose to name the company after our legacy because it has a story to it. It allows us to tell our story in an easy fashion, and it gives us common ground as founders. So that's where we get the name. And for those who may say, y'all can't spell, because nickel is not spelled NIKEL, we talked to the guys who were part of the association. So basically, our OGs, the original gangsters, and said, hey, we want to start this company. Are you okay? Can we name it this? We don't want any problems once we do that. So they gave us the blessing, just asked us to spell it NIKEL to avoid any type of trademark.
Sure.
And here we are.
It's what an inspiring story. And man, I remember at the beginning, you guys were outsourcing, and then it seemed like just out of nowhere, you were doing your own. And let me tell you guys, these guys were sponsors of this year's the 2022 Power of We Symposium, and they donated, how many was it? 300, like 300 plus t-shirts. Every t-shirt you've seen from the Power of We, and there were 3. They did the volunteer t-shirts, the event staff rather. They did the official shirt, which is on their site, and then the shirts, for all the volunteers. They did the hype squad. Just beautiful work. Everybody wears. I play tennis with Mark Haddis almost every Saturday, and I was like, "Do you ever take that shirt off?" He goes, "No," and I love it. They're just so comfortable. I'm serious. And my original shirts from you are what? Oh, almost 3 years old.
No, we started in 2020. Yeah. So we
Well,
got
2023 is right around the corner. So 2 years.
Yeah, 2
I've
years.
had
This
them
thing's
2
about
years.
2 years old.
They look exactly like they did the day I took them out of the package. Nothing has worn off. No seams have come apart. And when you put them on, y'all, they feel like butter.
And you do work out a little bit, Lauren.
I do.
A lot.
Every day. And now twice on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm trying to be the black male Betty White. I'm serious. So hey, can we take a look at the other clip?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, you guys, I want to give you a little bit more. Let's see. Take a look at this.
Hey everyone, it's Ruben Ayala.
And I'm Chris McPhee.
Along with Rod Graham
And Cortez Riggs. We are Triple Nickel.
Starting today, October 17, Triple Nickel will be in Khol's 600 stores nationwide for a limited time only from October 17th to December 31st.
You can shop online or at your local Kohl's department store for the new Phonetic Collection by Triple Nickel.
Now this collection is a salute to the women and men of the armed forces. It includes 7 custom military inspired graphic t-shirts, a custom hoodie design, and a snapback hat.
Hey, so today is the day where you can go to your local Kohl's department store or shop online and get the Phonetic Collection by Triple Nickel.
Please join us on this journey by posting your comments and sharing your photos of you wearing your new gear.
That's awesome. But one of those, isn't there another product that wasn't featured in there? Are you just gonna wait and cut a commercial with Chris in it? I'm talking about the Phonetic line onesie. Okay, I swear that's the last one.
No,
Chris gonna whoop my tail when he see me.
Yeah. Hey,
You guys,
let me tell you a funny story.
Go
Let me
ahead.
tell you a funny story. So in that video, when we were walking to the store, okay, when we were met by the management, and they was like, "Hey, what y'all doing filming out here? Hold up, time out, stop what you're doing," before they started to call the cops on us. We've been out there filming in the parking lot for at least an hour trying to get our lines right.
Right.
We are Triple Nickel. We couldn't get that right. So we've been in the parking lot trying to find the right angles. Management came out. What are y'all doing here? Y'all been out here too long. Why are y'all recording? We're like, ma'am, we're in the store. They did not believe us.
Yeah, sure you are.
They did not. We had to pull the app out. I swear to God, do not call the cops. We are here filming. So once we got that straight, they let us continue filming. But that was fun. We almost got kicked off.
You got to get used. How does it feel, you guys? Seriously, how does it feel? Because first of all, you started this during COVID.
Yes.
Where most people were scrambling to pivot, fearful of a lot of things, mainly the unknown. What was it, would you say? Do you think the pandemic helped you say, screw it? I mean, look what's going on. Let's just do it. What was that conversation like? Maybe we should wait. No, let's do it now, because obviously you did it. But how did the pandemic affect your mindset about how you moved, and how, all of it? It had to have had some kind of effect, I would think.
Yeah, if there was no pandemic, there would be no Triple Nickel. Just put it blunt. The pandemic caused a few things to occur. Number one, it caused my business, it caused Chris's business, it caused Cortez's business to come to a standstill. Rod working at the country club, different effect. But
right.
But if we didn't have, particularly for me, if I didn't have that opportunity to slow down, there would be no opportunity to just think. And the reaction of Triple Nickel was from all of the action happening in the country at the time. So you look at what was going on in the spring of 2020, you have the killing of George Floyd. You have the slaying of Ahmaud Marbury. You have the killing of Breonna Taylor. You have all of the riots that are going on in major cities all over the United States. We see that every day. We're bombarded with that every day. I see my so-called friends from our community posting a lot of racist shit. I see a lot of amplification of hate. And what it does, it allows me to think, what is it that we can do as leaders within this community to counteract that, to create some unification, particularly on the veteran side of the house?
Right.
That's where I saw it really, really amplified and ugly. And it just so happened, like Rod said, he called me, man, I'm bored. What do you think I should do? And it was during that time that I was having these thoughts and said, you know what? I'm going to take what I've learned. And I think that having guys on the team that I trust with my life is probably the way to do this. So that's how the seeds began for us. And that's why I say, if it wasn't for the pandemic, we wouldn't have identified a gap in the market. And what is the gap? There was no company in the veteran space. Not that we're completely for veterans, we're making a pivot. But at that time, there was no company talking to the minority community. It was either you are a patriot that is pro 2 Amendment, that is pro this, pro that, pro this, pro that, pro this, pro that, big beard, big muscle, all this. Nobody talking to us and say, hey, you guys come from a specific community. If you want to wave your Puerto Rican flag, it's all good, man. That's who we wanted to talk to. And nobody was doing that. And it was a gamble that worked well for us.
I'm looking back here wait a minute. I got so many. Wait a minute. I think it's upstairs because I wore it yesterday. What flag is on the side of your hat, Rod?
American flag.
Okay.
American flag on the fuego.
This one.
Yeah,
it's on my head. Let's talk about the names for these lines. I find that very interesting. And I had never seen, I hadn't anyway. I would have patronized. I would have bought their gear, but I've never seen a line that found a variety of communities that were underserved, underrepresented, and gave them something. You've done that I've seen the Puerto Rican flag, I've seen the LGBT, flag, and then take us into how you named this current line that's in Khol, the Phoenician, right?
Phonetic.
Phoenician.
Phoenician sounds so much nicer.
That's a hotel in Tucson or Phoenix. The Phoenician. It's a country club, actually. So talk about that. How do you come up with these names? How do you guys select what you're going to put out? And a lot of people would think in order to start an apparel line, you have to, have the big old pad and sketch out clothes and is that how it worked or no?
Yeah.
Who draws this stuff?
Okay. I think we can answer all those questions.
I know there's like 10 of them in there.
Let's tackle the design. So not Rod, not I, not Chris, not Cortez have ever been to fashion school. We don't have any interior designers. We don't have any engineers that can create these type fashion engineers. We have no background in that. So it doesn't happen that way. What we do is we talk concepts, I think Rod will say, hey man, I think we need a shirt that is cool, something for the Marine Corps. We just need to use their colors, and we'll just spitball ideas, and then we'll get a piece of paper, draw it out, and with our limited computer skills, we'll put it together, and then we'll provide that to our internal design team, or not a team, but our internal design guy, and then have them put that together. So that's how designs usually work. So there's no fancy way that we go about it. It's a collaboration of thoughts and conversations. The way we name each collection is pretty simple. We have a really basic formula on how we do things. We love hip hop music, and we treat what we do like, except Rod. Rod lives as a country. The exception. Yeah.
North Carolina.
But we look at how we view things the way a musician would. So if you think about what we're doing now, this is our first album that we have dropped at a national level, and we've gone platinum. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
The proof is in the pudding. So each collection that we do, we name it after a song that we really like because it has that feeling. So the Unity collection, which we wanted to be a dedication to the LGBTQ community, we named that.
Wait a minute.
There it is. Yep. There it is. Yeah. So you have the Stonewall shirt, which is part of the Unity collection. I wore that Stonewall shirt last night, by the way. And
I love them.
I love it. That's one of my favorite ones. And that's a song from Queen Latifah. UNITY. So did that. Coming up with the phonetic collection, that is not a song. But the way we had to arrange letters on a t-shirt, we wanted to have people guess and say and just have a conversation. What does that mean? What is air power? Because
looking at it.
Yeah, so it's just taking a play on the military language and terminology, but not go too far into it, because
right. Because in military, there's tons of acronyms.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's, so there's no real science behind it. We have a feeling on where we want to go. If we have a song we want to associate with it, that's what we name the collection. So we keep it like one big, right now we're on tour, meeting fans, meeting people, building an audience. When we get into the studio and print shirts, we're working on the album.
Let me ask you, I wrote this down because I didn't want to forget. So now you're in Khol's.
Yeah.
And that's a little different. Now, I know you guys are selling left and right off your website and whatnot. But how do you prepare for the unknown, i.e., 700 shirts were ordered today? Because the last I knew, I saw a commercial where y'all were silk screening in your own facility.
Still are.
So holiday season is coming. You're positioned right in time. What have you had to do to prepare, and how do you make your heart not go, what if?
Yeah. So I'll give you two answers. Roger said prior planning, which we're able to forecast as good as we can and say, okay, these are the contingencies that we may see, and we'll do our best to anticipate those and have those particular orders set to the side. Everything else that comes out, we call that just a frago. And in the military, what that acronym stands for in layman's terms is we're just really well at reacting and coming up with a plan on the fly. And
right.
And it's just the best way you go about it and able to handle those contingencies as they arise is having a good network of people like yourself. You guys are our shock absorbers. So we have relationships. We have built relationships within the city, within the country, within, globally.
Yeah.
When we are in a pinch, we can call and say, hey, we need assistance with this. And it's taken 2 years to do that. And for those people out there watching who are smart, because they've been to school for this, it's called a supply chain. So what we've been able to do is to develop a good supply chain to help us absorb those shocks as they come. So we try to plan as best as we can, but at the same time, we understand that we're going to get those contingencies along the way.
I love that. And you guys out there, I tell you all the time, we've always heard little axioms like, jump and grow your wings on the way down. But sometimes it's not as easy as people make it sound. But I'm telling you, this is proof positive. I don't believe faith is a thing. I believe faith is a place. And we get to that place by crawling through that tunnel of trust. And so that brings me to, you got 4 people, 4 co-founders. I know companies where there's 2 people and they can never get along. Let's talk about what are the strengths and weaknesses, or just the strengths. How do you know how did you find out who was good at what? Was that before you sat down and said, let's put some ink on it? Or was this some type of discovery process? And does it still continue to be where you're learning things about yourselves? Because all the things that you're pulling off, I have a feeling half of them you didn't even know they existed back out the front end. But nonetheless, here we are. Talk about that if you could.
Personally, I think our relationship goes back to Ruben and I. Ruben and I was team leader and team started back in 7th Special Forces group together. And the things that we experienced together, the racist things, the multitude of events that took place with Ruben and I, and that just made us a strong bond. And Ruben and I just go back a long ways. We went to combat together. We did a lot of things together, and we have a special bond, a special relationship. We actually have a remarkable story to tell, but that's down the road. There's more content, but Ruben and I do have a very, very interesting story, and we want it to be heard as well. But Ruben, he met Chris. All of us met kind of. Ruben met Chris, and Chris knew Kurt, and everyone was introduced to one another, and it was via internet. We all got on the Zoom, introduced each other, and pretty much I met Chris and I met Kurt. I came to Texas to meet Kurt. We were, starting up, and I met Chris at the same time, and it's been working.
Awesome.
We compliment each other. We call each other. We let each other know. It's to me, it's honesty, the integrity, and nobody. We don't get in many fights. We have disagreements.
That was where I was going next.
Yeah, we have disagreements and arguments, of course.
So who has to do this all the time? Hey, stop! Now get over there. You pull them apart. Who's got who? Is that you, Ruben?
Ruben is the officiator. I am the muscle. One place you always have to have muscle. So, I'm that. Kurt, Kurt is the head guy, So we all have different parts, and we all play a different part. But it works. It works for us.
How anybody? This is for either of you. Now. The rest of the outside, this isn't all you do. You all have lives outside of Triple Nickel. And so, because I was shocked the other day, absolutely shocked when who ran off and jumped the broom, and I didn't even know he had a girlfriend. I didn't, because I thought his life was totally consumed with Triple Nickel. But nonetheless, there it is. Right. So talk about how this has played out as far as work-life balance. Has it ever felt like, did people say, I never see you anymore? Can we talk about something other than Triple Nickel? Hello? Are you even listening to me? What about mindset moving through this? Because a lot of it you could not see in front of you until it was in front of you. Talk about that for a moment, if you would.
So you bring up an interesting point, and it's work balance. And
That's the uniqueness of us.
yeah,
Being able to, multitask. And all of us do.
Yeah.
All of us, like, I care for a 4 and a 7-year-old, 3 or 4 days a week, picking up my grandkids. My parents are in their 80s, so, I have a lot of things going on as well. We all are like really stretched thin, and simultaneously continuing the march with triple nickel.
Yep.
It's balancing and multitasking. And that's what we do very well.
Yes.
That's what Green Berets do well. We multitask, very well.
And I think too, with anybody who's on this journey, and it doesn't have to be selling clothing. It can be you have a service or a business and you are growing. You quickly find out that the more you grow, the more successful you become. There's people that are going to fall off along the way.
I was just going to mention that.
And not everybody that you start with is going to come along for the ride.
Right.
And I think you have to understand that if you want to be successful in whatever craft that it is that you do, you have to surround yourself and give yourself and be prepared to receive the energy from people that are on the same mindset as you. Because those who are not providing you that energy are not going to allow you to grow and move forward on your journey. So that's part of the growth and life balance that you also have to maintain, is the people who you need on your journey, and those who fall off, you got to let them go.
That is so true. And sometimes I think we all get caught up in that whole mindset or conversation regarding haters. I'll never forget during my Huffington Post interview, the girl asked me, well, how do you deal with haters? And I was like, what? I don't have no haters. She was like, everybody does. I said, I don't. And she goes, well, what do you have? I said, I got closet fans. They just don't know they love me yet. That's my job. So, how do you deal with that though? Because I would imagine that there were people you approached on the front end, even if it was to run the idea past. Oh, I don't know. You know how hard it is. Anything you say, they want to slap it down. But then when they start seeing it come into fruition, hey, y'all still got room for one more? They want to get on the ark. And the ark been done sailed.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that's
talk
true.
about that. Because think about it. Again, a reminder, folks, 3 years ago in this very moment, 2019, on this day, there was no triple nickel. And look at it here. So we're easing into that land known as the place where manifestation happens. What would you two say has enabled, because think about it. That means that 3 years ago, none of the four of you pictured where you're sitting. So you had something else there. Even if it was blank, you had something else there. What do you attribute the cohesiveness that made all of this click into place like a universal seatbelt to make it work?
Yeah, that is a very easy answer for me, because again, it's all part of the story. 2020, you see all of the things that are going on in the country, so it's bigger than us.
Yeah,
we were already financially established and secure, so we're not creating this company to make money.
Must be nice.
Hey, where's my bill at? Ding. So,
right.
But just have real talk. Some people on your comments may understand it, some may not, but it is really rare that you're going to find men of color anywhere that are willing to work well together. You hardly ever see men of color working together and doing something greater. The old adage is there can only be one. We let Lauren in. He's okay. He's safe, but don't bring another one. So again, we're looking at things and topics that are going on in the country that are so much bigger than us. So when we look at what we're doing and the story that we're telling and the inspiration we're trying to be, we know that there's other people out there watching. The youth that are coming up, they need role models. So whenever we have infighting or disagreements, or you have somebody that you want to be on your team who doesn't believe in the vision, that's what keeps us going. Is that 8-year-old Ruben, that 10-year-old Rod, they need somebody to look up to outside of entertainers, basketball players, if that makes sense. So
It makes perfect sense.
yes.
And I'm going to say this, you guys, this is really important right here. Because as you were describing it, well, it started when you were talking about when you first brought up the Breonna Taylor, on and on and on. And I put, let's use the Shift cover, the Shift magazine cover, for instance, back there. It was the time I decided, I told my team, I want to have a statement cover, not just a cover that means more than what the words say on it or in it. And so I thought it was going to be the painting and the patriotic thing. I'm born on the 4th of July. It's the July issue, blah, blah, blah. But, and I just booked my next photo shoot with her yesterday, Virginia Rose Hodges. It was brilliant because she's a celebrity photographer. And I was like, well, what you met her? And I was like, what makes a person a celebrity photographer? Still a camera. It's just a camera. Right. But the very first picture was that one. And she said, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to see all of the injustices that you've experienced. Foster care, the discrimination in the military. She said Breonna Taylor. She said George Floyd. She goes, just look at it in your mind. And then when I count to 3, I want you to open your eyes and show me the face of the person who just looked at it. That was her very first picture. And the statement was the eyes, was the look. I could have never, it was just amazing. And the reason I took the time to go through all that is because so many of us are afraid to remember ourselves. Just like this goes back together to make it one unit, to the proverbial scenes of the crimes. And I don't just mean the ones where we were actively involved, the ones that we see around us, turning a blind eye. Well, that doesn't affect me. When we look into those lenses, look at what can happen. So I want to give you guys a couple minutes here to really talk about the legacy piece. Not just for your own kids and their kids, but you really have manifested something. The story. They may not even be wearing shit like this 100 years from now, but they'll be telling the story, just like you told the story of the 555. They will be telling the story of these 4 guys back all those years ago, did what they did. Talk about how that feels and the responsibility that you feel is attached to it. I'm going to dip out again.
Go for it, right?
Myself personally, once again, I go back to Ruben and I years ago. And Ruben used to always tell me when we were briefing, and I would want to do things that was a little, straightforward. And he would always remind me, hey, Rod, it's always the second, third order effects. And we say this all the time. It's not about just what's happening in the moments. It's who it's going to affect, down the road, the second, third order effects. So, I try to make sure, when we do something and the legacy that we leave, it'll be for young gentlemen, young men of not only color, but, just a good legacy that we did well. It was a cause for everyone, not just one particular race or whatever. It's giving back to, what we've done, what we've experienced. I know that's how I feel that the type of legacy that I would love to leave. Just saying that we were 4 guys who seen an issue and we reacted to it.
Mm-hmm.
We did something about it. And that's the thing. Everybody can talk about doing something, but no one does anything. You sit there and you talk about it forever. So we talk about it and we execute it right after we talked about it. So
yeah, I agree with Rod. And legacy doesn't have to be something that happens a generation later. Legacy can be something that happens 2 years from now. So, if we're able to inspire somebody to greatness, whether it be in the military, whether it be in the civilian world, to me, that's a win
Yeah.
all day long.
How did it make you feel? Because you know how it is. I go through it all the time. The Romania trip. It wasn't until like last week that I really allowed myself to 1000% believe, okay, this is going to happen. Because, sometimes we don't want to be let down. What would you say is the one thing, this is going to be different for both of you. What would you say? What is your go-to place when you just need to believe in something that you have no proof of? What is it for you individually, each of you?
Yeah.
Where do you go?
So I personally go to the books. I go to interviews, and it's not a specific place in my mind. Is I need affirmation from others that I've never met. So I have my heroes, but I'm like most people. I don't have access to them. So if I want to really understand what it's like to be nationally distributed, but I don't have anybody to talk to because none of my peers are on that level. But I don't have access to Damon John. Okay, so I can't ask him, man, what was it like when you set up FUBU? I want to know what your feelings were. I go and find old interviews, I read his book, and I get those nuggets from there.
Would you like to meet him?
Yeah, if you got a direct line to him.
Actually, I do. I have an appointment with the kid, Andre Henry. He was on the show the other day. He was a brand ambassador. And he went from orphan to multimillionaire, wrote a book about it because of Damon John, and still is in his circle. I see him at 12 today. I will put that connection together for you.
All right, that'd be great.
See, closed mouths don't get fed.
But yeah, to me, it's simple. It's there's so much technology and access today that when you are in a rut, you can always go find someplace to find the information.
Yeah. Someplace.
Yes.
Last question. We got 2 minutes. Well, first of all, triplenickel.com. All things Triple Nickel. Go there, lock it in, bookmark it, and start looking and making your short list for gifts this year. We want to support the manner in which we support and bless others. Well, it's a fact. It's the same way that we will be supported and blessed. So get over and do this. I want you both to respond to this. Let's go forward in time. 30 years. You're sitting wherever and you're looking.
I'm 53, Lauren.
So my grandfather was 113 when he died.
Oh my God.
And he sired his last son, Archie, at 97. So that's what I go by. I'm just saying. Well, let's just say you're in your twilight years and you're sitting there reflecting, and someone hands you this picture I'm going to show and says, look at this. Tell me what you hope it will mean to you then.
I mean,
that's a tough one, huh?
It's success, accomplishment. We did what we set out to do. If it all ends now, we did what we set out to do. We still have things to go, but what we started and what we wanted to do initially has been accomplished. It's just what's happening now is so many more things are coming into the fold that we want to accomplish.
I'll tell you what I'm thinking, just looking at it now. I don't just see 4 guys wearing gear with an international conglomerate sign behind them. I see a lot of the things that the world doesn't see, that it takes to get there, i.e. the things that you had to sacrifice long before there was a triple nickel concept. I see the things that you're up doing while the rest of us are sleeping. I always tell people this. I know when they give a compliment, they say, oh, it's just great. And I go, I know. And they go, I said, listen, that's not ego. That's me saying thank you to what is greater than me for doing it. Because I know I do my best. And when I can't do anymore, what is greater than me takes care of all the rest. And so when I look at you guys, I see the finger of God putting things right and allowing people who are open to believing that they are legacy and legacy is within them right where they should be. So I knew it from the beginning. That's one of my gifts. God gives me brief glimpses into the greatness of others. And it happened with you all. And it just really touches my spirit when I see all the success, because it is well-deserved and you are changing this world one garment at a time. So thank you to Triple Nickel. I love you guys. I mean that. And thank you for blessing me. And Brian, I mean that, because you just don't know. When you came to me with the opportunity with the Unity line, I was going through something in my life that I didn't think I was going to make it through. And when we went and shot the promos, it gave me something to hold on to, if even just for another hour. And so I just want you to know, everything you're doing, half the things you do through it, you don't even get to hear. So I'm letting you know a peace of mind. So thank you so much. And thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. I didn't have time for this. Get a V8. Still got to pay me. I'm so grateful. Come back anytime. The door is always open. You guys are true inspiration. All my best to the Triple Nickel team. Again, get out and support in Kohl's until December 31st. You don't have any excuse not to support. Listen, tomorrow, where is my intricate booking system? Here it is. And tomorrow, Jenny Emily. She is a Nashville resident, and she's got a new album out. She's going to be here tomorrow, so don't miss that. You guys, all the best in Vegas. Tear them up, and if there's anything you need from any of us, all you need do is ask. Last words?
TripleNickel.com. Follow us if you haven't already done so, and if you haven't gone to Kohl's, I don't know what you're waiting for.
Okay, now's the time. Now's the time. Thank you, guys. God bless you. Keep doing what you're doing. You keep doing what you're doing. Listen, get out today and be your best. Be your very best. And I promise you will see what is greater than. Take care of all the rest. I'll meet you out front tomorrow morning, God willing, at 8 a.m. Central. And we'll do it all over again. Our next illuminated conversation right here on Bathrobe Moments. Have a great day. Bye, everybody. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you give